I thought I'd give you an update on how things are going along with my hazelnuts and also plums, and see how the results of the experiments are getting on. This is my hazelnut tree. As you can see, there are plenty of nuts on the tree, and the crop itself will be ripe quite shortly. So it's really done exceptionally well, and this is all down to the fact that I've got two different species of hazels and they are both pollinating each other. This is my plum tree, and this is the one I did the experiment on, and the experiment I did on this one was to spray pollen onto the flowers, and the flowers, as you can see, have developed into a fantastic crop of plums, and this tree has never ever cropped before, and so this is the first time that I've done this experiment on an old plum tree. Of course, I fed the tree with seaweed, liquid seaweed, during the winter and treated it. So with this plum tree, when it was in flower, I basically just sprayed the pollen all the way up. And because it's a very old plum tree, it's on a graft which is about 20 years old. A lot of the flowers came on the vertical branches, but I'm trying to encourage more laterals, but of course it's grown taller. But it looks a very decent crop. Now to the experiment. I was a bit concerned about what people are saying about the lack of bumblebees, and I had tried a paintbrush method on my channel of pollinating plum trees. Don't forget the blossom comes in very early, even mirabelles, etc., even earlier engage. So now I've decided I'm experimenting with spraying pollen from one plum tree onto another plum tree's flowers, and I'm using a battery operated plant mister. I did, as you've seen, a video of the actual flowers and collecting pollen, and I've made a mod to my plant mister because I don't like the sea-sized batteries. These are rechargeables, and basically the idea is you get lots and lots of pollen from different plum trees and mix it up together, put it in the water and use this electric plant mister to spray plum trees when they're in flower. And I just tried one plum tree this year, so I'll try others next year. If you don't have a battery operated mister, you could try using a pressure sprayer. I've got a little one here. This cost me £1 from Poundland, and pollen is so tiny that basically it would fit outside of this pressure nozzle. I don't think it would be damaged really. Basically the idea is to spray pollen in water on the blossom. Here I've captured the female part, the stigma, surrounded by male parts. So the larger structure is a female part, and that's thicker as well, you can see, because that's the actual tube that the pollen will then land on the top of this female part, which is this part which I'm pointing to there, and then it's sticky and it'll be attracted to there. One pollen grain will then travel up or down in the case of however it depends where the flower's facing, up or down, and there it'll travel down this tube and into the ovary. So there's the male and female parts of the plum flower. Then develops into an ovary wall, which is the fruit that you eat when you eat the lovely plums from your allotments or your gardens. That's it for now, and I hope that you're doing well on your plots, and I'll let you know how those plums get along. But I'm sure the pollination experiment seems to have worked for me.